Yo guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going through the best player at every single Premier League club this season. I'd like to thank you guys on the support recently. This is filmed on the 31st of July, which is the day after it's been posted out, and we've already reached 70 views. This won't come out on the 31st, but come out on a different date. It might, you never know. But yeah, this support has been great. We've gained another subscriber. I think we got 7 likes on the last thing and like 70 views, which is mind blowing for how small a channel I am. So thank you guys very, very much for all the support. But without further ado, let's get on to the video. So starting off with Norwich, we're going to go for a player that has a lot of potential. And it's got to be between Buendia or the player I've picked, Todd Cantwell. 6 goals and 2 assists for Todd Cantwell this season. I mean, he's been good, especially at the start of the season, but there isn't really a player that's played extremely well for the Canaries this season, if you know what I mean. But obviously I've got to pick someone, and I'm going to go for Norwich City. Moving on to 19th place, we've got to go towards the Vicarage Road, which is the home of Watford, who unfortunately been playing Championship football. But we've got to go with Gerard Deulofeu, the Spaniard, who's a very, very, very good player. I feel like he's Premier League quality. He will not stick around. But since that injury that he got at Liverpool when they won over Liverpool, that shock win that they had, as soon as he got injured, they haven't been the same really. They haven't really been the same, like attacking wise. They've got the results, but they haven't been playing the same football that they were playing. And especially when they had that really good run just before the Liverpool game. Moving on into 18th place, we have AFC Bournemouth. And there isn't really a stand-up player at this club. They aren't very good, but sometimes they get the job done. I mean, they have gone down this season, but you know. But you've got to go for Josh King. I mean, it's debatable. There's many players that you could go with, but my opinion is just Josh King. Moving on to 17th place, there's not even anyone else who you could even consider, maybe other than Mings, but Jack Grealish, 9 goals, 7 assists for the Villa. One of the best players in the Premier League this season. I'm not even being biased. He's probably I reckon he's in the team of the season this year. Honestly. I'll probably do a video on that, by the way, if you want to check it out, the team of the year this season. But anyway, we're going to go into 16th place and into the London Stadium. And we are going to go with Mikel Antonio. I know Declan Rice is a worthy shout, but Antonio, he's just been getting goals. 7 goals in the last 8 games. Great stat. And he might not have been great at the start of the season, but he's come along nicely since lockdown and been one of the best players this season. Moving on to Brighton. There's only really one man that I think is good at that club, and that's Lewis Dunk. I think he carries the team. He's a great leader, and without him, I reckon relegation they'll be quite comfortably relegated. Moving on into 14th position, we have one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, Jordan Ayew. He scored 9 goals this season for a poor Crystal Palace side, who've lost 7 out of the last 7 games, but Jordan Ayew, he's been the only player that's actually stepped up and performed this season, maybe other than Vincent Guaita. But Ayew, especially that goal, I think it was against West Ham when they equalised in the last minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe scored in the last minute and got the win. But he was just a great goal, great set of goal, maybe one of the goals of the season. And you know, they're not far off relegation. I reckon they might get relegated next season. But I think Jordan Ayew could easily fit into a team like Wolves, a team in the top half of the table. Moving on to the 13th position, Newcastle United. There's obviously 2 players who you're really going to think about, and they are Allan Saint-Maximin and Dubravka. I have gone for Dubravka, personally, just because of how good he's been this season. I know Saint-Maximin's been good, but he hasn't got that many goal contributions, which is what you want from him. He's a good player, but I've got to go for Dubravka for Newcastle. Going to 12th position, we have Everton, the Toffees. They've had a poor season for their likings. I think they were battling relegation at the start of the season with Marco Silva. But, they've come back, gotten to 12th, but since they got Ancelotti. But, it's still been a poor season for them. But there's only really 2 or 3 players that you can go for. I've gone for the one that the least amount of people go for. But there's either Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison. And who else is there? I think it's just them. But Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison. And I've gone for Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin, who last season didn't really do much, but this season he's bagged himself quite a few goals. And personally, I don't think Richarlison's that good because he spends more time just lying on the ground than he does playing football. Moving on into 11th place, we have, I'm not even going to say the team, let's just say Ings FC, 22 goals, 2 assists. Without him, as soon as he picked up his form, Southampton were fine. As soon as he didn't have great form, they weren't fine. Without Danny Ings, they would be down quite comfortably. But, moving on to 10th place is between 3 players, really. It's either Ben Mee, Tarkowski, or there's also... Ashley Barnes, sorry. Ashley Barnes, good player this season. There's also Ben Mee and Tarkowski. Between Ben Mee and Tarkowski, I think. I'm going to go Tarkowski, although Mee has played so long and played very, very well this season. James Tarkowski. England shout, maybe? Discuss that. I don't know. I don't know if he gets in over... Does he even get in over Lewis Dunk or Tyrone Mings? I'm not sure, but he's a good player. He's definitely a good player to take to the Euros. Maybe not start, but definitely a good player to take. Moving on to 9th position, we have the team of Sheffield United. The team that we didn't expect to do this. Even Sheffield United fans would not have imagined them to have this great a season. 54 points, 2 points of Arsenal. Finishing above Everton. Finishing above Southampton. Finishing above all these great teams. Finishing above Burnley. 2 points of Arsenal. 5 points of European football. It's just amazing, and I think there's maybe 2 men that you can go for, but I'm going to go for John Lundstrom. Obviously, there's Egan, who played really well after lockdown. Obviously, there's O'Connell maybe as well, but I'm going to have to go with John Lundstrom, a player that you just didn't want to not have in your fantasy football team. Fantasy football managers, their favourite player, so cheap and everything, and he just bagged himself a couple goals, got a few assists, and just fair play to the lad. Obviously, Arsenal, we're going to go for a player that starts with the same letter as the club, pretty much the club, Aubameyang. Aubameyang, what a player he is. I think 22 goals as well, along with Danny Ings this season. I think next season they'll do a lot better with... I think Pep might get used to the Prem. Lacazette's starting to get on form. And Aubameyang. I don't know if Aubameyang will stay or not, but if he does, maybe getting Jack Grealish. Hopefully not from my point of view, but maybe getting Jack Grealish. They can finish top 6. Maybe even get Champions League if they get lucky or play well. Because Mikel Arteta is a good manager. And he knows how to beat Man City. Moving on to 7th place, we have quite comfortably... Well, there's Adama, but Raul Jimenez. I don't really feel like there's much debate. He's very underrated as well, but him and Traore have such a good bond, and I feel like Jimenez is just such a great finisher and he's skillful, and he doesn't seem like he would be, and he's fast, but he doesn't seem like he would be. He's just a great player. I think any club in the Premier League would take him as a striker. I think he's better than Firmino, personally. Sorry, Liverpool fans, but I think he's better than Firmino. Moving on to 6th place, we have Tottenham, Harry Kane. Son, but Harry Kane. Debate about who's better, Kane or Oba. I think Aubameyang's better, but, Kane's still a good player. Moving on to 5th place, we have Leicester. I'm going to go with Jamie Vardy. 23 goals a season. Class. That's all I'm going to say for him. Just class. Maddison, obviously, but gotta go Jamie Vardy. 4th place, we have Chelsea. I'm going to go with Mason Mount. It's a tough one. It's really between Mason Mount or Pulisic, but I'm going to go for Mason Mount. Moving on to 3rd place, we have Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, I don't think, has been at the club for too long, and also I think he thrives off penalties and is a penalty merchant. So I am personally going to go with Rashford. Hasn't been a great season. He's been injured, but at the start of the season, he was a very, very good player, especially with that goal against Chelsea. And yeah, I thought that might have been the top player. I mean, there's no doubt that Bruno Fernandes has helped Man United. There's no doubt about that. But I think that Rashford at the start of the season was better than Fernandes now. Second, we have Man City, the only one player, the best player in the world other than Messi and Ronaldo and Lewandowski, De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, the best midfielder in the world, for sure. Is there anything bad you can say about De Bruyne? No, there isn't. He is the main bit of that Man City team. And he scores goals and gets assists for absolute fun. And moving on to Liverpool United, the champions, well deserved. I'm just going to say this, I know they've done well, but Henderson's overrated. I know Firmino's overrated. There we go, that's that out of the way. But I'm going to go with Sadio Mane, great player. Just so you know, guys, I don't think Salah's overrated. But anyway, Mane, great player. And yeah, that's the end of the video. By the way, just moving on, talking about Mane, I think that without Mane, their attack wouldn't be anywhere near as good as it is this season. And maybe the title wouldn't even have happened. And maybe it wouldn't be as comfortable as it was. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please can we hit 5 likes again? We smashed it last time, but can we do it again? It mean a lot. It's quite a big ask still, as I only have 7 subscribers, but it means a lot, guys. All the support. If you enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and yeah, come on the Villa.